Hey everyone, it's D here, back with another video on positive equity trades, and in this video I have a support and resistance tutorial for you. So I gotta start this video off with a disclaimer. I'm not a financial advisor. Do your own due diligence before getting into the stock market. You can also talk to an actual financial advisor as well, but stock market is very high risk. If you don't know what you're doing, you can lose a lot of money. So that being out of the way, let's get into this. So support and resistance. So the reason why I have these questions down below is because that's what I get asked the most. When should I buy? When should I sell? How high will it go? What's the price target? Should I get back in or should I keep holding? So after talking about all this, you should be able to answer all these yourself and pretty much turn you into a better trader. So if you were to apply this video with the previous video, I do not see how you cannot be a successful trader. So let's get right into it. To the left, I have Bitcoin, and to the right, I have WWR. Now, Bitcoin is cryptocurrency, so the market doesn't really close, so that's why it's still moving. But stock market is closed. It is Sunday, so WWR would be a good example of what I'm trying to talk about. So first thing is support and resistance, right? So you can picture support and resistance like this. So I'm not too sure who I heard it from, but it's a great example. I couldn't really describe it until like a couple of years ago, I stumbled across the video and it showed me this, okay? So this over here, actually here, let me just make it slightly easier on the eyes. I like a black screen, so yeah, it's a lot easier for me, but pretty much like this. So support and resistance, what is it, right? So if you can imagine, for example, right, you go off on a plane. So as you know, when you take off from a plane, it just goes up, and then what happens, you get some turbulence here, and then you go up, and then you're in the sky. Okay, now you're in the sky, right? And then something happens here, and then now before you land, something happens here, and then there you go. Okay, so if you've never been in a plane before, turbulence happens right here, and then over here, you might have some turbulence up here, and then on the way down, you might have some more. All right, so if it's your first time, then you wouldn't expect this, you wouldn't expect that, and you wouldn't expect this. But if it's your second time, you expect this, and you expect this, and you expect that. All right, so where I'm trying to get at, right? So as for price, before it moves, all right, usually it has two things. So first off is that right here would be the support, up here would be the resistance, because people remember this price. Okay, so let me just get rid of that. Don't save it. All right, let me give you an example right here. So for Bitcoin, okay? So let's go back to Bitcoin back when it was like this, okay? So pretty much, you see how it just it took off. All right, so right now it's sold off. Okay, so as you can see right here, around $12. You see this right here? That's a clear indication there's something there. Okay, so we put a vertical line right over what happened. Okay, there it is. All right, so put a line right here. Okay, let me just switch to white so you can see it better. All right, there's a line right here at 12,000. All right, and then it sold off to, well, it sold off to around 9. All right, but right here there's some support at 10, so we'll put a support right here. All right, so pretty much I've locked in and indicated that this is the resistance, this is support. So pretty much resistance, it's going to be hard for a stock to get up, and then when it sells off, it usually bounces off the resistance, support. So as you can see, support is right over here. Support is at 10, all right, resistance is at 12. So for example, if I go to, this is the 4-hour chart by the way, so if I go to the, as it goes on, as you can see how it just does this stuff right here. So why does it do this stuff? So let's look at it some more from this angle. So you see this right here, how it went up and it got slammed down and got bought up right away. So if it was a plane, you'd probably expect this to be something here. Also, another thing is you see this right here. So support and resistance, you can also see it by, it's like a clear, it's like an invisible line that you can see there's something up. There's something up right here. As you can see right here, if I put it down here, see how it stopped right here, hit it again, up here, bounced off, went through it, hit it twice, go back up. See, there's something here and you know it. Just because you see all these lines, they're actually respecting that. So that being said, I marked 1, I marked 2. Now is there another? Let's see. And yeah, right here, probably right here. The reason why is because, well, after this it just went up from here. So the best part, if you can't find this at all, just keep going back. Just keep going back to back then. So, perfect. Look, there's one right here. We'll put one down here at 10 something. See, that is something significant, so people will remember that. And also, I believe this line, what else? I was trying to find some more. Okay, so as we go back, as you see, you still can't see anything. Still can't see anything. Oh, because it's all the way, it's too far back. All right, so that being said, I will get rid of this. All right, so I was talking about this part right here, how it dropped down, and this is it. So I drew these lines because of what I saw back here. And remember, this was the tip here, and then this was before it popped off, and then you see two lines hit that, and then this right here, you can see a clear line. So I drew these, so I only drew the one at 10 and the one at 12. And if I move over, after the drop, you can see how this, see, people still remember that. Hit this once, hit this again, broke over it, broke above it, and now it's going up. So this over here was, where was this? Right here. All right, right over there, you can see how there's clearly something there, drop down, and then what happened was wherever the stock is currently. So for example, if you have it at 10 and you're here, you say you bought it here. This would be the point of resistance. This would be the point of support. So there are strong resistance and strong support, but I'll get into that later on. But what you're going to see here is how it bounces at 10. There's something clearly at 10. And you know how this steep sell-off at 12? Something clearly going on here. And then a steep sell-off bounce just right through. So something here, something here, something here. See that, how it's touching the line? You know, actually, let me make it a bit lower just because it looks a lot better like that. Oh, perfect. See, the more touch points you have on a resistance or support line, the more accurate it is. Look at that. That's perfect. All right. So this is very, very important. So this would be, I will label it as strong resistance or strong support. All right. So that being said, after it broke through, this is resistance, this is support. So pretty much what you can do is make your buys at the support. Once you buy, you want to sell at resistance, or you want to sell until it hits a strong resistance. So buy here. Now this will have a tough time breaking it. So it break this. So as it goes up, goes under, and bam, it hits this. And then, oh, what do you know? It almost hit that. And then look at that, right? I drew that there. I said it was strong resistance because of all those touch points. And what do you know? It just barely hits that, or it does hit it. And then what happens is it just sells off after. And after it sold off, it couldn't, it was holding on the support, but then now that support turns into resistance. Boom, big sell-off, okay? And see, it sold off around here. Why is that? It is because of this, right? And because what I do right here, you see this right here, look at that tip, and you go all the way over, and then you also see that tip. So this was the line of the tip. So right now, doing this confirms that this would be support. So not as strong, but it's still pretty good. All right. So then, once it goes above it, it's safe to go. But then you see how it went up, and now it hit that again. So why was this significant? Because, well, first hit this 1, 2, 3. Look at all these touch points, and also it was this as well. This as well. See, touched it, bounced up, touched it. So there's something here, and you know it. All right, another red trend line. So we're already confirming this is the case, and we already charted these out before we even knew about this drop. Okay, so actually no. Let's say we're starting over. Say we're right here and we charted all these. So we know that this can go here, here, and here, but it's going to have a hard time. But what did it do? It went from here, here, to here, which is, you reread it like a book. All right, but now if it breaks below it, it turns into resistance, and it came back down, hit this, bounced above, hit right below. It didn't hit 10, but it went all the way back up. Hits this again, hits it one more time, back down to support. And you can see we drew these lines way before this even happened. All right, and then it's already doing it very well. See, hit this, broke above it, hit this, and you see this goes up, strong support. And then now, what's the next target? 12. Will it hit 12? And yes, it did, and it broke it. All right, so this is an example how you can find support and resistance. So a lot of people go like, oh, when should I buy? When should I sell? Well, you should always buy at support, sell at resistance. Now, if you bought here, like underneath this, that's dangerous because your downside is to 10 grand, but your upside is, well, it's going to be hard to get up. So if you want to get in, just buy above it like this. And if it goes down, whatever, but then it usually goes back up. So you want to buy above support, wait for the resistance to turn into support before buying. So another example would be this right here. So I actually made a, helped a friend trade Bitcoin just because I was in it for a very long time, for about 4 years. But then I got out because it was just too much manipulation. They do these things called stop hunts, and I was like screwing around with like high leverage and all that stuff. I used to make a good amount, but I didn't want the stress of having to watch the charts for like 24 hours because the stock market, the crypto market never closes. That's the thing. I couldn't really go to sleep. But as for stock market, it only opens at certain times, which I love and which I rather do. All right. So for example, like this. All right. So when my friend let me know about Bitcoin, like he was asking me about like when should I sell, when should I buy, what I did was I actually said, okay, well, here's the thing. Okay. It was about here. It's at 40 something, right? Actually, it wasn't at 40 something. It was here. Okay. So the thing is that you cannot find support and resistance if it's at all-time high. So right now, there's nothing here, right? So this is at outer space. Okay, we have no freaking clue. So if we only knew about this, this is all we see. We can see that, well, right here, there's obviously something here, okay, right here. It's never, also support resistance is never like a straight line, an exact price. It's usually a range. So right here, we also got something too, here, and right here. Let's do right here, because 1, 2, and then 3, 4, and 5. Okay, see, this is enough for me to confirm it. And also right at the tip. Why at the tip? Because, actually no, right here. Because you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, this is all we see, and this is all we get. Now, the thing is, I told my friend to sell around, so right now I went to 40, right? But then, what happened was it sold off. So what I did was I said like, okay, look, the thing is, there's more than meets the eye here. I did use indicators to tell me when to sell as well. So I recommended him, actually to my friends, to sell it at 39, around 39.8. So they sold it around 39.8. Okay, so let me just go right here and sell off. Okay, oh, before the off, right here. All right, so we got a line right here. I told him to sell right here. Now, it went back up, and my friend's just like, should I get back in? Looks like it's going to go back in, but the indicators are telling me no, which I will do a video later on so you don't have to worry. So it goes up, and I said, nope, just wait, it's going to sell off, because I saw indicators that was telling me it was going to sell off. So what happened? So what we can do here is that, well, here, these points right here is actually right here, and as you can see right here too, what we got was this right over here, because you got 1 wick, 2, 3, 4, and then it just went up. So this is obviously a line here, obviously a line here. So the thing is, if this were to fall down, it could fall down to one of these. Okay, so what ended up happening was it actually fell. Okay, so I told him to get out and wait for 30. Okay, around 32 to 30 is where you want to be buying this. So it actually went all the way down, and it actually, look at that, it just touched this perfectly. So my friend ended up getting it around 30, around here. So he got in around here. And then I said like, well, how much can it go up? Well, the thing is, now this turned into strong resistance, okay? There's a high chance for this not going up. And look at that, right? You see this? I'm going to give you another one. Right around here. See this? Perfect. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's obviously something in this area here, right? So I go right here because of this right here, and you get more touches that way. So right down here. So I actually said, hey, it doesn't look really good because of the indicators are not telling me. The technical analysis usually doesn't lie. So what happens is I told them, okay, once you buy it right down here, which you did, sell it at 38. So what ended up happening was it actually went back up to 38 and then hit right here. And that's when I told him to sell. So the thing is his own choice if he wanted to sell. And I said, I didn't tell him to sell, but I said I would sell here if I was in it. So that way he makes his own decision. If he loses, then it's his fault. If he wins, then it's still his fault. So don't give me credit. I was just suggesting it. So here's the thing. Yes, it could hit that. I told him it could hit 42 again. It could, but chances are you're not going to get it because, well, first you got to break through 1 and 2 very strong resistance. Usually if a stock or a currency, breaks 2 strong resistance, it has to pull back for it to actually, go any higher. So what I told him to do was sell this, but then he was kind of foaming, oh, it's going to go back up to 42. I'm like, no, just wait, bro, just wait. And then it just goes all the way back down. And he goes like, oh, when should I buy it? When should I buy it? I'm like, just wait, just wait. And look, hits 34. And I told him, I'm like, from here, honestly, if you look at the daily chart, this is what it looked like. All right. So from a technical standpoint, if it went up this much, it has to have a pullback. There's no way it can like go up and then all the way up, and then just because if it does go all the way up, it's like a cheap tent, man. It's going to collapse if there's no support. So there is no support here because it is at all-time high. The only support you're going to be getting would be right here. As you can see, there's some touch points right here and right here as well. And then these over here, this is just weak. But over here, remember we confirmed that these two over here will be good support. So people can buy here and expect to sell it up here. But from what I see, I told them just to hold it. And you'll probably see a bounce at 26 and 23. So I actually alerted that in my Discord as well. Like, I'm very bullish on crypto, but just not now. Just because out of all these years, I have learned through trial and error not to really mess with Bitcoin if it doesn't look good. So as of now, this is the daily chart. As you can see, it broke below it, couldn't break it, held below it, now it's on its way down. So as soon as it cracks 30, this is going all the way down to 28, 26, then 23. I told him to wait around 23. All right. So when we get a bullish indicator or some divergence, then we will see this bounce up. But that being said, this is how you can find support resistance. So I said, to my friend, when should I sell it? We'll sell it at resistance. All right. So sell at 3.9. All right. When should I buy it? Buy at support. The only support here, as you can see, I don't count this one just because of this. You see how there was like really nothing here? Say we didn't see this. There's really nothing here, honestly. But the thing that was here was this. 1, 2, and then it's just going through. But then you get 3 and 4, and then for the 30, you get the tip and then a big move up. So for these tips right here, big move up. For this over here, that's why I said buy around here. And then you want to buy at support. So whenever it's at support, you can go ahead and buy it. After you buy it, well, like say this is the daily chart, right? But it's right here. It actually dipped a lot lower, like this. It dipped a lot lower like this. So you can buy at support, and then buy it all the way back up to the next resistance. So yes, you can buy here and then sell here. That's great. But then the thing is, the resistance here would be kind of weak just because, well, it touched it, went up, touched it, went up, touched it, went up. So this over here, there's something here. But this is where you can catch a bounce. So if it sells off hard enough, because it went from 42 straight down to 30, that is a 12 grand drop. But then there's something called a dead cat bounce where if it drops hard enough, it will bounce up just a little, at least a little. So that's why I told him to buy it here. And then what do you know? It did bounce back up. And that's why I told him to sell here. I said, like, hey, man, you could sell it right here because, well, it doesn't look too good. Because I also got the same indicator and the same warning sign as I got right here. So that's why I'm like, it doesn't look too good, man. Just keep holding it. But then, unfortunately, what happened was as it went down, it actually tricked a lot of people. So that's another reason why I didn't get back into crypto, just because it does so many of these tricks. All right, these tricks as in like, it goes up, and then people get in, and then they lose hard, and then it looks like it's going to go back up again. And my friend's like, really, should I get back into crypto? Because my friends hear a lot of people saying Ethereum is going to go nuts. It's going to go way back up. It can pop at any moment. And I said, hey, man, if your friend is telling you that, you do what you want. But to me, I would not, just because the charts are telling me no. And what ended up happening? Just sells off like that. Unfortunately, he got in just a little bit with his friend, but then, this was so expected. I read it like a book. I knew it. And then what happened when it was down here, he was like, oh, is it a good time to buy Bitcoin? No, because I told him to wait. So what happens? Yeah, you could hold, like I said before, support and resistance, right? Something here, yeah, you can buy it back down here. You'll get a bounce. Here, you'll get a bounce. Here, definitely you'll get a bounce too. But what happened was, on the daily chart, on my Discord, I did say, you see this right here? This turned into strong resistance. Why is that? You get 1, and up, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, there is clearly something here. So what I said on my Discord was it's going to hit 33 and then sell off. So it hit 33 and actually did what I said. So the thing is, we'll wait for this to play out. Join my Discord if you want more updates on crypto, because I do Forex and crypto and stocks, just because I've been doing that for like 7 years, and I'm actually pretty good at it. So a lot of people want to get on board in that. Yeah, join my Discord. It is free. So we're just a small Discord right now, but it's going to grow into something big, because my goal is to teach people how to do trading. How to just trade in general, because you can potentially replace your full-time job with trading. And honestly, in my opinion, being a trader is the best job in the world, because you can make $3,000 in one or 2 minutes. Like, that's pretty good, depending on your account size. If you have a huge account size, then you can make like 2 years pay in like 1 hour. You can do that. That's the best job in the world, but you can also lose it too. So that's when risk reward comes into play, and then you just don't let that happen. All right, so the next one right here, this is a stock, okay? So stock right here. All right, West Water, okay? So say, for example, we don't know anything about that, okay? And we're just looking at previous history. So let's chart it out. So again, more touch points, the better. So one here. Why is that? Well, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Obviously, there's something here. Second, you see this tip all the way up, all the way down? That means there's something right here, okay? And is there something right there? Well, yeah. Well, you see this? Well, yeah, to be more exact, we can go right here. All right, touch points. Oh, look at that. Perfectly. Yeah, we'll do this. And then up here as well. Why? Because it's a range. It's not an exact point. It is just a range. And then if we go right here, perfect, right in here. You want to sell around this area. You don't want to just hold it until it dies. Okay. All right. So there's one here. There's one here. Also, what do we got here? We have this right here. You see this gapped up, and it filled it, okay? If you don't know what a gap fill is, check out my other video. This will tell you. But this over here tells you there's something here too. Okay, so now pretend we didn't see that big pump. All right, so we have this going on, and then it just sells off, and you go like, okay, what else is there? So let's go one more right here, because you got a touch, 2 touches, 3 touches, 4, 5, and this is it, okay? So let's see if we can make it more exact. Right here. Okay, reason why: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. See, this is clearly something here. All right, so we did our charting. All right, this is how we can find targets. All right, say for example you bought it down here. First target's here, second target's here, third target's here. This is this is pretty much how you can find the targets. So as you can see, as it goes up, it just went parabolic. Now it went back down. So what is it going to do? It's going to bounce. See, like bounced off support, hit resistance. Now it's under it. Now if it's under it, chances are it will fall back down here, which it did. Maybe a little bounce. We didn't get that. All right. So the lowest we can go is right here. But then as you can see, all of a sudden, it just stopped right here. Sells off, sells off, sells off. But for some reason, there's something here. All right. So what we can do is now, the red ones will represent old support and resistance. Yellow ones will represent new resistance. So we got one right here. All right, so pretend it went up, went down. Now we're interested. Now we're looking to get in. And then what we can see, one right here, touch, touch. I'm not going to even look at the back because I know this. And then one here. All right, why is that? Let's see. Actually, no. Go one here, and then one here as well. Okay, 2 touches. Yeah, that's fine. Oh, see, right here in this area. I'm not going to draw 2. You know what? I'll just do this. Tips and tips. Okay, this area. All right, now when it goes back up, all right, the red lines, again, they're old resistance. The yellow lines, again, they are new resistance points that we charted after this big run up. All right, so what you can do is like pretty much, if you want to get into this one, right, the target would be 14. All right, 14 is right here because it went all the way up there. Another one, your target could be, well, it could be right, see, there's nothing really much here. So I'd say probably this tip. Okay. Okay. So right here, what happened? So as you can see, what happened? It went all the way up. All right. And then went all the way back down to old support. That's the red line. And then it goes all the way back up, hit the old resistance and the new resistance. Right. Look at that. We're like reading it like a book. Now it comes back down, broke support, hit old support, hit new support, went back up, held above it, went back above this. Now this is support, this is resistance, and kept bouncing off for a couple days. Look at that, perfect, look at that, and then it goes up. All right, so you can buy this, sell here. You can do that. You can play the old support and resistance. Seriously, like you saw this, like I didn't even, I did see this, right? But then I was showing you guys how you can pretty much chart these out and find it yourself. So as you can see, as it goes up, boom, old support. Now it's over here. Now chances are what's going to happen is that, well, since now we're about this far away from it, we can now start charting new support and resistance. Okay, so I can go purple. Here I go purple, and I would say right over right here, because you see these two right here, 1, 2. Actually, let me just go a little bit right. Actually, no. Yeah, I was right because it actually touched it. Okay, so this is new support and this is new resistance. Okay, so what we have here, if you want to take a trade, again, 3 to 1 risk to reward. So since we have these, right, you can take a little entry right here, and then when it goes to 550 right here, and it goes below 550, then you can sell it. But your target is $9, okay? 8, 9, 9.30, around there. Your target is like around this area. Look at that. Like this is where you actually would want to go, okay? So you see right here is where you want to go. All right, and then right here underneath, so if it breaks below support, it turns into resistance. Okay, so since it did this, it worked so hard, there's a huge chance of it going up. So you have to be willing to risk $1 to gain 3. Perfect risk to reward example right here. All right, so that being said, that's how you find support and resistance. So let's review of what I was going to say. Okay, so when should you buy, when should you sell? When should you buy? All right, buy when the stock pumps up and then drops all the way back down to a reasonable price, and then chart out support and resistance line. You want to buy on support, sell on resistance. All right, how high will it go? How high will it go? Well, it will go as high as the resistance will take it. So strong resistance, new resistance, old resistance. You just want to be able to chart these out, and then pretty much just keep your eyes on the targets. Okay, so what's the price target? Anytime there is strong resistance, new resistance, old resistance, but old resistance is usually stronger. All right, what's the price target? Well, there you go. Right, should I get back in? All right, if you get back in and it's below the support and it turns into resistance, probably not. Should I keep holding? Well, if it breaks below all the support, I don't think you should be holding, because there's a huge chance for it to go back down. So that being said, let me just show you one more time, okay? One more time right here. Okay, so for example, should I buy? No, because it's underneath. All right, actually no, you get a bounce here, yeah, you can go ahead and buy. Should I buy? No, because it's under this. Should I buy? No, it's because it's under this. So I told my friend, actually, here another example for you, okay? I told him that you can get back in if it breaks above 42, because if it did, that means the price went above all the resistance and is back at all-time high. So there is no resistance whatsoever. That's why it's safe to get back in here. So this over here, how would you make a move, right? How would you make a move if this was the case? So say, for example, let me just get this out of the way. Say, for example, when should I buy? The question is, when should I buy, right? Well, you can buy on support, okay? What's the price target? Old support at $7. It's nice and rounded number, so people usually sell. All right, so it goes up and you missed it. Say you're just really choked because you said, oh, I should have bought, right? It's like, oh, it went all the way up. Should I get back in? Should I keep holding? Well, the thing is this, all right? If you didn't get in, you don't want to get in here. You want to get back at support. See how it hit this line perfectly? Look at that. You buy it right here, because the most you can lose is, well, $1. The most you can gain is quite a bit, so you'd buy down here. And then it goes up to here. Should I keep holding? Well, here's the thing. You have to remind yourself, what is your target? So if you want, you can scale out half if you don't want to risk it. But since you're up this much already, feel free to take some profits at the resistance line, but you pretty much just want to wait. And if it can't break above this, that means there's something wrong, unless it forms an ascending triangle, which is a pattern, which I'll talk about later on. Pretty much that is how you would identify should you keep holding it. So for example, if it breaks below this, Oh, actually, no. If it breaks below this, no, you want to get out like yesterday. Like you do not want to even sell, buy, or anything here. Just because it's below the resistance, it is chances are it's going to have a hard time breaking this. And then pretty much that should be it for this lesson. So hopefully this was able to help you out. I know this took a while, but support and resistance is very important. That's usually something that a lot of people don't know, because I've been in other chat groups as well, other Discord groups, and the people ask the same thing. What's the price target? Should I buy? Should I get? Like, it's always like that. Like, I think around half the people ask half of the time, when should I buy? When should I sell? Like all these questions right here. But if they learn to just do it themselves, then they won't have to waste a lot of people's time. So, I will still do it on my Discord. If you have a question, yeah, I'll gladly help you out. But you want to be able to do this yourself. Because, for example, if I'm just like, say I'm gone for some reason, I just disappear off the face of the earth, who is going to be there to help you out? Now, if you did not learn support and resistance from this video, and I'm just gone, and you still don't know this, what is going to happen to your account? Are you going to pull out? Are you going to just follow another person and let him hold your hand all the way through? No, you want to be able to start sustaining yourself, learn how to trade yourself, and pretty much turn into a better trader. But if you keep asking these questions, that means you're not learning. So the thing is, you always want to learn to get better. You never want to stay the same. You shouldn't be happy with where you're at. You have to be always looking to improve. Now, if you have that mindset, then you will become successful. There's no way in hell. Like, you can always fail, right? From failure, you learn from it, and then you learn not to make those mistakes. All right? Successful people are big failures. They failed so many times, but they never gave up. They learn from their mistakes over and over and over again, and that builds grit and it builds knowledge too. So learn how to do this. If you don't, then you're going to have a hard time. So wrapping this video up, hopefully you're subscribed to my channel. Click the notification bell if you want to learn how to get better at trading. Follow my Discord if you haven't already. You can join. It is free. And there you're going to find stock alerts as well. Also education, because I'm really into education. I want to get people better at trading. So that being said, this is D from Positive Equity Trades, and I'll see you in the next one.